So this is what you said exactly what's going to happen. Visitors to give locals no say over migrant camps, which is supposedly in the past that they couldn't build a migrant camp wherever they wanted to because it had to go through planning permission. But because this is Britain, which has no kind of system which allows things to be a system.
Yeah, well put.
Okay, is that they're overhauling planning rules, which make it significantly easier and quicker for the Home Office to repurpose government land to accommodate asylum seekers without asking local permission. This is not even news because we know that the government, the central government, just runs roughshod over everybody.
Well, do you know what? Maybe I'm a big gammon, Steve, and I know it's to get them out of the hotels, which is costing a lot of taxpayer money. So there is that. But what bothers me here is it's a matter of urgency. They're streamlining the process. They're getting why can't they build any houses and solve the housing crisis? But when it's a migrant, the migrants are just building stuff immediately. They're just doing it comes up overnight.
I suppose it's the same thing of planning permission meets NIMBYism, which seems a bit of a harsh phrase because sometimes, you don't want loads of houses built in your area. I totally understand that. This story is another one of these to try and keep you busy away from the actual story, which is why are we so bad at processing people? Processing asylum claims to such an extent that 1% of last year's claims were processed. If you'd got rid of that, we wouldn't have to row about barges. We wouldn't have to talk about hotels. You wouldn't then have to talk about the reuse of government land because you could just actually do the job that you're meant to do. But the government manages to make us not pay attention to that failing and get us all rowing about barges or RAF land.
Can we process them all back to France? Because I was speaking to Richard Tice on my podcast. It's called The Current Thing. New episode out today. And the point is, it is relevant because he was saying, well, he's read all the treaties and actually we can actually legally put them back in France. You don't hear many politicians saying that. What's your solution, though, Steve? You're sort of all about processing them. Is that really the problem?
Are we not making the same point that surely Richard Tice would say you have to process people to then put them back?
Right.
So my point is just simply that we keep falling for this shiny key debates, like something over here, barges. How dare you say barges are a bad idea? How dare you think my idea is bad? No, the government are failing to do the simple job of government of processing asylum claims. It's their job, and they're failing to do it.
And then what happens? I don't understand. What happens once you process them? This is the question.
Deported or stay. The two outcomes.
So once they have to stay, houses have to be found for them. So in the end of the day, you still need houses. But they're not going to be deporting people. It's harder. It's so hard. What this country lacks, I love this country, is a lack of will. You've got to say nobody's coming.
You know what? You're actually right. The politicians are not being tough enough. Lewis Schaffer with a great point.